Richard, who was Duke of Gloucester before his coronation, was the House of York. In the days of Shakespeare, this House of York was so bitterly hated and feared, the playwright built a Richard even more terrible than Richard actually was. King Edward, the pretender to the throne, has overcome his enemy, Henry VI, in the ghastly Battle of Towton and ascended to the Tower. Let us picture Edward's warped and fire-brained brother Richard, alone, atop a seething mound of dying bodies, his feet in blood-wet mud, watching his brother king leaving the field and musing on the pleasant expectation he has for the unsteady crown. Would they were wasted, marrow, bones, and all, that from their loins no hopeful branch may spring to cross me from the golden time I look for. And yet between my soul's desire and me is Clarence, Henry, and his young son, Edward, and all the unlooked-for issue of their bodies to take their rooms ere I can place myself. Say there is no kingdom then for Richard. What other pleasure can the world afford? I'll make my heaven in a lady's lap and deck my body in gay ornaments and witch sweet ladies with my words and looks. Miserable thought, and more unlikely than to have accomplished 20 golden crowns. Why, love forswore me in my mother's womb. She did corrupt frail nature with some bribe to shrink mine arm up like a withered shrub, to make an envious mountain on my back where sits deformity, to mock my body, to shape my legs of an unequal size, to disproportion me in every part like to a chaos. And am I then a man to be beloved? Oh, monstrous fault to harbor such a thought. Then, since this earth affords no joy to me, but to command, to check, and to o'erbear such as are a better person than myself, I'll make my heaven to dream upon the crown. And yet I know not how to get the crown, for many lives stand between me and home. And from this torment I will free myself or hew my way out with a bloody axe. Why, I can smile and murder whiles I smile, and cry content to that which grieves my heart, and wet my cheeks with artificial tears, and frame my face to all occasions. Can I do this, and cannot get a crown? Tut, were it further off, I'll pluck it down. Was ever woman in this humor wooed? Was ever woman in this humor won? I'll have her, but I'll not keep her long. What? I that killed her husband and his father, to take her in her heart's extremest hate, with curses in her mouth, tears in her eyes, have God, her conscience, and these bars against me, and I nothing to back my suit at all, but the plain devil and dissembling looks, and yet to win her, all the world to nothing. Upon my life, she finds, although I cannot, I still to be a marvelous proper man. Shine out, fair sun, till I have bought a glass, that I might see my shadow as I pass. thy name Tyrrell?
James Tyrrell, and your most obedient servant.
Art thou indeed?
Prove me, my gracious liege.
Darest thou to kill a friend of mine?
Aye, my lord, but I had rather kill 2 enemies.
Aye. There thou hast it. 2 deep enemies. Tyrrell, I mean those princes in the tower.
'Tis done, my gracious lord.
Shall we hear from thee, Tyrrell, ere we sleep?
You shall, my lord.
Go.
Buckingham.
My lord, I have considered in my mind the late demand that you did sound me in.
Oh, let it pass. Dorset is fled to England.
I hear that news, my lord.
Stanley, he is your wife's son. Well, look to it.
My lord, I claim your gift, my due by promise, for which your honor and your faith is pawned. The earldom of Hereford and the movables, the which you did promise I should possess.
Stanley, look to your wife. If she convey letters to Richmond, you shall answer it.
What says your highness to my just demand?
As I remember, Henry VI did prophesy that Richmond should be king.
My lord, your promise for the earldom.
A bard of Ireland told me once I should not live long after I saw Richmond.
My lord. Aye, what's o'clock? I am thus bold to put your grace in hand, my lord.
But what's o'clock?
Upon the stroke of 10.
Well, let it strike.
Why let it strike?
Because that like a jack thou keeps the stroke betwixt thy begging and my meditation. I am not in a giving vein today.
Why then resolve me whether you will or no?
I am not in the giving vein today. Gentlemen, we take our leave.
What news? Richmond is on the seas.
They'll let him sink. There'll be the seas on him. White-livered runagate. What doth he there?
He makes for England, there to claim the crown.
Is the chair empty? Is the sword unswayed? Is the king dead? The empire unpossessed? What heir of York is there alive but we? And who is England's king but great York's heir? March on! March on, since we are up in arms. If not to fight with foreign enemies, yet to beat down these rebels here at home.
Here pitch our tents. Even here in Bosworth Field. Up at my tent here. Here will I lie tonight. But where tomorrow? Well, all's one for that. So I am satisfied. Give me a bowl of wine. Bid my guard watch. Leave me, Ratcliffe. About the mid of night. Come to my tent and help to arm me. Leave me, I say. I am for sleep. Give me another horse. Bind up my wounds. Have mercy, Jesus. Soft. I did but dream.
I hear their drums. Prepare in my horse! Call it good Stanley! Bid him bring his power. Go, gentlemen! Every man to his charge. Let not our babbling dreams affright our souls. Fight! Gentlemen of England! Fight, bold yeomen! Draw archers! Throw your arrows to the head! What says Lord Stanley? Will he bring his power?
Lord, he doth deny to come.
Off with his son George's head! Advance your standards! Set upon our foes!
Rescue, my lord of Norfolk! Rescue, rescue! The king enacts more wonders than a man. His horse is slain, and all on foot he fights, sieging for Richmond and the throat of death.
A horse! My kingdom for a horse!
Withdraw, my lord, I'll help you to a horse.
Slave, I have set my life upon a cast, and I will stand the hazard of the die. I think there be 6 Richmonds in the field. 5 have I slain today instead of him. A horse! A horse! My kingdom for a horse!
Richmond! I have found thee. Nay, Richard. Death hast thou found instead.
You lie!